These are the block diagram of the heterostructure laser. Here the upper layer is P-type aluminum gallium arsenic and the lower layer is N-type aluminum gallium arsenic, and in between P and N there is a active region of gallium arsenide. When the current passes from upward direction to downward direction, there is a laser light present, there is laser light emitted in from this active region. In this figure here we see that the laser light emitted from the active region. Some important tools for connecting one fiber to another fiber. These tools are known as optical splice. Optical splice, it is necessary to join one fiber to another fiber permanently. Second tools, optical coupler or beam splitter. Optical couplers are used to couple the light output from the fiber end to the device, which can be receiver or regenerator. The beam splitter are used to split the light beam, which can be given to the other equipment. Now, the repeaters, which are the selected in between the transmitter and receiver. Repeater is the important tool. After an optical signal is launched into a fiber, it will become progressively attenuated and distorted with increasing distance because of scattering, absorption and dispersion mechanism in the glass material. Therefore, repeaters are placed in between the construct the original signal and again retransmit it. The signal is proposed in electronic domain and hence optical to electrical conversion and the electrical to optical conversion are performed in the repeater. In this block diagram, repeaters have some important tools: optical receiver, electronic device and optical transmitter. These optical transmitter transmit this signal and finally this signal is amplified by optical amplifier and then sent to the receiver. Optical amplifier is the most important device in the communication system. After an optical signal has traveled a certain distance along a fiber, it becomes greatly weakened due to the power loss along the fiber. Therefore, when setting up an optical link, engineers formulate a power loss budget and add amplifiers or repeaters when the path loss exceeds the available power margin. The periodically placed amplifier merely give the optical signal a power boost, whereas a repeater attempts to restore the signal to its original shape. There are some optical amplifiers in the market. One of the most important optical amplifier is the erbium doped fiber amplifier. In this, information carrying signals are directly amplified in the optical domain without conversion of the electrical domain. This figure represents the optical amplifier. Here, this is the isolator, this is the coupler This device is the pump laser and erbium doped fiber amplifier, and before this there are splice. Splice is used for connecting two fibers, and finally the isolator. We find an output pulse here. The input pulse is weaker, but the output pulse is broad, and amplified output pulse is found with the help of erbium doped fiber amplifier. Now, the last part of the communication system is receiver. In the receiver section, there are a detector, there are an electronic amplifier, and a retrieve circuit. At the destination of an optical fiber transmission line, there is a coupling device which couples the light signal to the detector. Inside the receiver, a photodiode or a photodetector that detects the weakened and distorted optical signal emerging from the end of an optical fiber and convert it to an electrical signal. There are some photodetectors. Firstly, we explain pin photodetectors. Pin photodetectors are made by a semiconductor. Here there are three portions: P plus, N plus, and I region. P plus heavily doped P-type semiconductor material, N plus heavily doped N-type semiconductor material, or in between these two, P plus and N plus, there are intrinsic region, pure semiconductor material. In pin photodiode, the light falls on the detector. The major portion of the light is absorbed by the intrinsic region. The size of the intrinsic region is very large in comparison to P region and I region. Thus, most of the light is absorbed in this region. After absorbing these photons, there are produced some electron hole pairs. The generation of charge carriers within the intrinsic region may be due to the radiation incident. For these reasons, many photosensors include at least one pin diode, such as a pin photodiode, a pin photodetector. In addition to the light radiation, the charge carriers can also be generated by particles, gamma radiation, alpha radiation, and so on. The second type of the photodetector is avalanche photodiode or avalanche photodetector. Avalanche photodiode have much larger value of RD, responsivity of the diode, as they are designed to provide an internal current gain in a way similar to photomultiplier tube. They are used when the amount of optical power that can be spread to receiver is limited. The physical phenomenon behind the internal current gain is known as impact ionization. The difference between pin photodiode and avalanche photodiode is that in avalanche photodiode there is a additional P region near to the N plus region. In the pin photodiode there are three parts: P plus, N plus, and I. But in the avalanche photodiode there are P plus, I region, P region, and N plus region. P region is known as the amplification region. Under certain conditions, an accelerating electron can acquire sufficient energy to generate a new electron hole pairs. In the band picture, the energetic electron gives a part of its kinetic energy to another electron in the valence band, and that ends up in the conduction band, leaving behind a hole. The net result of impact ionization is that a single primary electron generates some secondary electrons. Of course, the primary holes can also regenerate secondary electron hole pairs that contribute to the current. In this block diagram, here avalanche photodiode is properly biased. When the light enters the device through N region, at the junction point of P and N, there is a multiplication region. The width of the multiplication region is Wm, and there is the depletion region. At the junction point or at the multiplication region, the field strength is very high. When any charge carrier go towards this amplification region or go towards this avalanche region, the charge carriers gain sufficient amount of energy and colliding with the valence electron and produce a newly electron hole pairs, so that this region is known as amplification region. Here, this particular field is known as minimum field required for impact ionization. There are some noises are present at the receiver end. In fiber optic communication system, the photodiode is generally required to detect very weak optical signal. The detection of weakest possible optical signal requires that the photodetector and its following amplification circuitry be optimized so that a given signal to noise ratio is maintained. What is signal to noise ratio? Signal to noise ratio S by N is equal to total signal power from photocurrent divided by the photodetector noise power plus amplifier noise power. To achieve a high signal to noise ratio, the photodetector must have a high quantum efficiency to generate a large signal power, and photodetector and amplifier noise should be kept as low as possible. The sensitivity of a photodetector is an optical fiber communication system is describable in terms of the minimum detectable optical power. This is the optical power necessary to produce a photocurrent of the same magnitude as the root mean square of the total noise current. So, we are trying to minimize the noise in the receiver. If there are some noise present in the receiver end, we cannot receive clear information at the output end or at the receiver end. So, we are trying to minimize the noise in the receiver end, the losses in the fiber, the dispersion in the fiber. Now, finally, we explain what is the advantages of the fiber, how the fiber is better in comparison to the traditional cable communication system. Optical fiber is a waveguide. In this case, the carrier is light waves. The first advantage of optical fiber is here the bandwidth is greater and the speed is faster. Optical fiber cable supports extremely high bandwidth and speed. The large amount of information that can be transmitted per unit of optical fiber cable is its most significant advantages. The information carrying capacity of optical fiber is very large because the carrier waves which have the frequency range 10 to the power 12 to 10 to the power 15 hertz. The second advantage is electrical isolation. Since optical fiber are constructed by glass, which is an electrical insulator, there is no need to worry about ground loops. Fiber to fiber crosstalk is very low. Equipment interface problem are simplified. The fiber is very cheap in comparison to aluminum cable, copper cables and etc. The silica is the base material and the base material is formed by the sand, higher information carrying capacity, because optical fiber are much thinner than the copper wires or aluminum wires, aluminum cables. More fibers can be bundled into a given diameter of this cable. This allows more phone lines to go over the same cable or more channels to come through the cable into your cables, TV box. Fiber optic cable have much more bandwidth than copper wire according to the weight and according to the thinner diameter. Optical fiber is thinner and can be drawn into a smaller diameter than copper wire. They are of a smaller size and lightweight than a traditional cables. In the case of signal security, by using an optical fiber, a high degree of data security is present there. In optical fiber, optical signal is well confined within the waveguide. The optical signal is well confined within the core of the fiber. Signal security is very important in military application, in banking, in networking sector, etc. There are large advantages of optical fiber in comparison to the traditional cables. But there are some disadvantages of optical fiber. First, low power. Light emitting diode sources are limited to low power. Although high power emitters are available to improve power supply, it would add extra cost. Distances. The distance between transmitter and receiver should keep short, or repeaters are needed to boost the signal. If we add different repeaters at different positions in the optical fiber, the cost will be increased. These are the disadvantages of the optical fiber. Finally, what is the application of optical fiber? Optical fiber is widely used in medical sciences, in communication, in defense, in networking. Just like in medical industries, because of the extremely thin and flexible nature, it used in various instruments to view internal body parts by inserting into hollow space in the body. It is used as a laser during surgery, endoscopy, microscopy, and biomedical researches. In communication, the telecommunication has major use of optical fiber cable for transmitting and receiving purposes. It is used in various networking fields and even increases the speed and accuracy of the transmission data. In defense purpose, fiber optics are used for data transmission in high level data security field of military and aerospace application. These are used in wiring in aircraft, hydrophones, for sonars, and many different uses of the optical fiber are there. So we can say optical fiber is much useful in modern communication system. Optical fiber is used in lightning and decoration. Optical fiber used in mechanical inspection. Optical fiber are also used in industries, and there are so many applications in optical fiber in this computer era, this networking era. Finally, we can say optical fiber is cheap and best in according with the data security in the fiber loss and information carrying capacity is very high. So nowadays the optical fiber is most popular device for communication system. Thank you.